Thank you for joining Elevate Lab Academy. You learn cybersecurity hands on. Let's learn reconnaissance today. What is reconnaissance? Reconnaissance is gathering information about your target. A target could be an organization, website, or a service. Why reconnaissance is performed? Now, reconnaissance helps us build the current security posture, or let's say the infrastructure they're using, or the services that they might be using. Imagine a company could be hosting the server on Linux machine using an Apache server or a website built on PHP. Information about these services help us design our attack vectors. Now, what are attack vectors? It is a chain of attacks that we will be using on the target. To perform reconnaissance, we would need a target, right? And today's target is Elevate Lab Academy's own website, which is a fake website called elevatelab.biz, right? This will be our target website. And let us try to gather as much information using the reconnaissance method. Where do we start the reconnaissance and how do we start it? Normally, I have a checklist. I will share that checklist in the description below. Please feel free to use a checklist and also expand your checklist according to your needs. Now, this is the base checklist that I perform. We will also be using the checklist today for our reconnaissance. Now, the first thing that we find on the checklist is to perform a search on Google. At the time of recording, elevatelab.biz was not indexed on Google. Do check, it might be indexed now or not. Now let's perform a simple Google search. Type in elevatelab.biz. Obviously, the website isn't listed. This is a different Elevate Lab. You do find the website on Google. The first thing you would do is actually check what the website does. Now, what is this website? This is about finding a place or a car or a shopping mall that is for sale. The most important part of reconnaissance is to keep track of the information that you gather along the way. I use a simple editor. Maybe in another video, I will show you how to write a perfectly balanced report that can be shown to the executives, the developers, and the stakeholders involved in it. Let's open a simple editor and to a target. Let us write target. This will be our target. elevatelab.biz. So far, the information that we have gathered on Google plus site is not indexed, but we did find out that this site sells apartments, cars, rental places, and travel listing. Let us try to check for any features or details or information in the website itself. Let us try to go to the about us page. If we could find any email, any phone numbers, right? We could gather phone numbers. We found out two phone numbers right now. And how to note it down? We write it down here. Any emails that we could find on the website, that'd be great. Let us go to the contact us page. The categories page doesn't list much. The listing page is just contact information. So the contact us page has a form to fill. Let us note that on this page. Maybe it'll help us later in our attack. Now how do we write that? Let's put it as an input form. We could find input form and contact.php. Not much of information is available on the website. Let us try to check the next part in the checklist, which is a DNS lookup. I have listed 4 to 5 tools that I generally use for all my reconnaissance programs. One thing that is very important in reconnaissance or any cybersecurity audit is It's not important whether you use hundreds of tools, but at least 5 to 6 tools efficiently. Please know the tool, what information they gather, how they perform the the attack, or how they perform the reconnaissance, and how do they gather information. DNS lookup is the all the information that is stored in the DNS server of that website. So a domain name system converts a website to an IP address, and each system on the internet is recognized by an IP address. Let us check our first tool in the CLI, the first information, that is host elevatelab.biz. You gather two information. You gather the mail address, which is mail.elevatelab.biz, and also an IP address of the website. Let us note this down. You could copy it. You could do something like IP, paste it, paste the information, and you could gather a lot of information along the way. We did find something like mail.elevatelab.biz. Another tool that I have listed in the checklist is a sublister, sublist 3R. What is a sublister? A sublister is a tool to gather information about subdomains. ElevateLab.biz could host a CRM portal or a HR portal, and you could discover more information that might be indexed on search engines, DNS server. Now let us try to gather information using sublister, sublist 3R minus t elevatelab.biz. Now obviously, if you could just scroll up, this is searching all the search indexes or the search engines about elevatelab.biz, and we could gather three more websites, right? Two more websites, which is app.elevatelab.biz and portal.elevatelab.biz. Let us copy this, gather more information, app.elevatelab.biz and portal.elevatelab.biz. Let us check what else that we could find. Now there is a crt.sh, and you could just go to a website called crt.sh. Now crt.sh uses, imagine you're using an OpenSSL certification, maybe from Let's Encrypt or any open source. crt.sh will list that in the website. If you do elevatelab.biz, now crt.sh shows the same information that we gathered using the CLI. Shows the app.elevatelab.biz and also shows portal.elevatelab.biz. So you are able to find two extra subdomains on crt.sh. The same thing that we found out during our CLI pro. Let's check the next checklist: advanced Google hacking or docking. So in this video, we will be covering the basics of Google docking. Now, what is the advanced Google hacking and docking? Advanced Google hacking would mean using operators on Google search to narrow down your search. You do go to google.com and search for elevatelab.biz. Okay. This would give you a generalized search. Right? It lists all the website with elevatelabs.biz, and you can see information that you don't require. You type in the operator site colon elevatelab.biz. Now what this would do is this would search for the site only elevatelab.biz. Now you have narrowed down your search from a 6-page Google search to a single Google search. Imagine you're looking for a file in elevatelab.biz. Okay. So what you could do is you would narrow down your search. You would do site elevatelab.biz, then file type PDF. So this would search all the PDF files inside elevatelab.biz. Your main aim is to narrow down your search. Now, this saves time, this is efficient, and a better way to perform reconnaissance. That's for Google hacking and docking. So there are more operators on Google Docking that I will discuss or make a lab. The next on our checklist is website information, which tells you to use tools to gather information about what technologies the website is based on. Let's go to elevatelab.biz, which is the website. Let us click on Vapalizer. Vapalizer is a popular tool that helps you gather information about the technologies used inside the website. Vapalizer shows you information like what is the web server it's running. It's running in Apache 2.4.52, and the programming language is PHP. Most important that it is also running on a Ubuntu system. It's very important that we note down this information. So let's use website. The OS was Ubuntu, Ubuntu OS, and it was using an Apache server, right? And was PHP. The PHP was the backend language. Now, why this information is required? I'll tell you how this information helps you perform the attack, or how do you plan the attack on the target web server. A very popular website for gathering website information is to use built with in Google search built with. Let us search for the website elevatelab.biz. As you can see, you can gather information by just by visiting the website, and you could gather more information on who is the DNS server, where is the DNS server, right? Who is hosting the DNS server, or who is hosting the web server, right? We could gather information like the DNS is from Hostinja, the vendor Hostinja, and the website is hosted in a US location. Later, we will see how to gather information about where is the web server located. The SSL is from Let's Encrypt, which is a very popular SSL, and some information that was earlier listed on Mapalizer as well. So thank you for joining Academy. This will be the first part of reconnaissance, also known as footprinting, and we will cover more about the checklist. Please feel free to comment on what could be added. Now, if you are somebody who's starting out a career in cybersecurity, please go to elevatelab.academy. You learn cybersecurity with a hands on approach.